Smallholder farmers and urban households in Isiolo are unlocking new pathways to household food security following the launch of a new agricultural demonstration farm. The demo farm and nursery is tackling persistent land scarcity, water stress, and climate shocks by providing direct access to quality seedlings and hands-on training in climate-smart technologies.
mama liwanda tofauti.
Umuhimu wa masomo ya leo ni kuweza kuwaelimisha wakulima kuhusu njia mwafaka za ukulima ambazo hazitumii maji mengi na ambazo pia zinatumia resources ama vitu ambavyo wako navyo nyumbani. Kwa mfano hapa tuko na shamba gorofa ambayo tunaita corn garden na inatumia space kidogo sana. Kwa hivyo hata kama uko na space yako kidogo nyumbani, haupaswi kuwa na shida ya mboga. Umuhimu wa ukulima huu tena pia unakuwezesha kulima aina mingi ya vyakula. Na pia unaweza kuongezea mimea ingine ambayo inazuia wadudu. Ili uweze kufukuza wadudu kutoka kwa mimea yako ambayo tunaita organic farming. Organic farming ni kutumia mbolea kwa wingi na unapunguza matumizi ya kemikali. Hivi kwamba chakula chako ambacho unavuna hakina kemikali, hakina shida ambayo inaweza dhuru mwili wako ama mwili wa familia yako.
East Africa's primary trade corridor is fast-tracking its shift towards sustainable logistics following a fresh financing injection from the United Nations Environment Program, that is UNEP. The Northern Corridor Transit and Transport Coordination Authority has secured seed funding to drive the implementation of its Green Freight Strategy 2030, establishing key frameworks to transform regional transport into an electric vehicle-ready network by 2030 and achieve net zero emissions by 2050. The capital injection will directly target localized greenhouse gas emissions tracking across member states, including Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda, while funding critical feasibility studies to electrify heavy-duty operations at the port of Mombasa.
So the funding agreement today is going to focus on three areas. One is to continue collecting the greenhouse gas emission data, which we are now tracking every year. And three, to study the possibility of electrifying the port of Mombasa, because the port of Mombasa handles about 50 million metric tons. And the traffic that is within the port is generating a lot of hydrocarbons into our air, and that needs to be controlled. And finally, we're going to create a framework for gender inclusion in the transport sector and how to protect women as they participate in the trade.
I want to make sure that East Africa is part of that transition rather than follows it. And that's one of the reasons we're working together on the Green Trade Strategy in the Northern Corridor, so that in East Africa, we're part of that transition. And many countries, even in the West, yet are to introduce electric trucks at scale, but it's happening. And it's happening not only because it's better for the environment, but it's also happening because it's cheaper. Those vehicles, electric vehicles in general, are cheaper. And so there's a business case to be made. But to be able to do that, we need to make sure we have the basics in place. And that's why we're doing the data collection. That's why we're looking at what do we need in charging. That's why we look at the gender issue. So we need to get all these pieces in place